Everybody, welcome to today's workout on Monday here. We're going to kind of stick with the same game plan as far as just having basically 5 components of an indoor workout that you can all do from your bedroom, your living room, or your garage. Okay, just kind of got all the household items that you could find around, kind of all stacked around here. We use some of them today, but let's get right into it. First thing is going to be our warm up. Okay, so for our warm up today, what we're going to end up doing is just 5 basic shoulder movements just to get our upper body warmed up. Okay, we're going to do each one for 30 seconds in time. So our first one is going to be basic shoulder circles coming forward, and we're going to do this for 30 seconds. We're going to have big circles just to kind of get our upper body warmed up. The second thing that we'll do is we'll do circles again, but this time we'll go ahead and go backwards. Okay. And then our third one will be up and back, meaning like we'll come straight up and as far back as we can, and up and back and up and back. So that will also be for 30 seconds. Our fourth one in our shoulders warm up will be hugs. So now we're going lateral as far as we can, back and out, and then coming back in front of our body. And kind of alternating what arm goes above on the front side. Okay. Our fifth and final shoulder warm up is going to be 1 up, 1 down, meaning like 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down. Those are our 5 basic movements. We'll do each one for 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and pause and get our shoulders warmed up. Okay, our first exercise today that we're going to end up doing is going to be for our lower body, in particular our hamstrings, into our glutes and into our lower back. Okay, it's called a single leg, 1 leg at a time, Romanian deadlift, or also RDL. Okay, so for today's first exercise, I'm just going to use my backpack as my resistance, and I'm going to go ahead and load my backpack down with a basic, just a textbook, maybe 2. Okay. So whatever resistance works for you, but this is what you could use that you can find around your house. Okay. So again, our single leg, meaning 1 leg at a time, RDL. So I'm going to go ahead and do my left leg first, but I'm going to put my resistance in my right hand or my right arm. Okay. So I'm going to have my left foot firmly planted on the ground, and I'm going to lift up my right leg. Okay. Again, my resistance is in my right hand. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to bend over at the hip or bend over at the waist, not the knee. I'm going to have a slight bend in my knee, but I'm going to head and go and down and tap my resistance right in front of my toe. I should feel a stretch in my hamstring and into my glute and into my lower back. And then I simply come back up to a straight line again, in which my resistance is now off to my side again. Okay? By having a backpack, it's very long. I could also choose other resistance, like a dumbbell if you got one, or a jug or something that's not as long. So thus now I can stretch and maybe get a little bit deeper on my single leg RDL, coming back up to the top. We would do the same amount of sets and reps for both legs. Our second exercise today is going to be a basic row. Now we're going to go ahead and row and get into our upper body, in particular our back. And there are 2 ways that we can do rows. We can do them single arm or 1 at a time, and I can continue to use a jug, and that would be simply where now I can row and have this resistance go to the side of my body, okay, or up by my rib cage, so I can get a little bit higher. Okay, I could use a milk jug or a water jug. I could also use a bucket of some sorts. That could also be used for single arm rows. But if I don't have anything for a single arm row, I could use backpack as well. And I just have a bigger item, I could use 2 arm rows with anything else at all too. So lots of different ways to do a row with a household product. Okay, so that's our second lift. Our third lift is going to be back down to our lower body. It's going to be a goblet squat. And again, this is where we want to grab our resistance. Could be lots of things. Could be that bucket. Could be that cooler. It could be this loaded down backpack in which I hold the resistance in the front half of my body. Okay, and now I'm simply going down to a squat position. Okay, that's going to be our goblet squat. So those 3 muscle-specific exercises, let's go ahead and pause the video and get them accomplished. Okay, so now after getting our muscle-specific exercises done, now we're going to go ahead and get into our core. And we're going to do 2 specific exercises for our core today. The first one for the front and the second one for the back side of our core. So our front side of our core, we're going to get going by doing what's called the rushing twist. Okay, so I grabbed just a little piece of resistance here, just a book, in which now I can sit on my butt. I'm on the ground. Again, we're going to go to the front side of our body. And we're simply going to twist back and forth and tap our resistance on the ground. Lots of different ways to do this. We could do this with our feet on the ground, and we're bent over as far back as we can get, and we're going to go back and forth and twist back and forth to tap. Okay? We can also lift our feet off the ground as well as we twist. So that would be a Russian twist. Our second exercise for our core is going to be a glute bridge. And so that's going to be more for the back side of our body, of our core, in which our feet are now firmly on the ground. Our knees are bent. We go back into the back position where our lats are firmly on the ground, and we form a bridge. We bring our glutes up, contract our lower back and our hamstring, and we hold that for a certain amount of time. So those are our 2 exercises for our core. Let's go ahead and pause the video and get our core. Okay, so for now, we're going to go into what's called our superset cardio. Our superset cardio is, again, when we superset things. So we do one exercise right after the other without stopping. This is to get our heart rate elevated and to keep it up. So we're going to try and get our heart rate into the triple digits, even if not more. Okay, so our superset cardio is going to consist of 3 exercises today. The first one's going to be for 1 minute. So you're going to need a watch or your phone or some kind of timer. But what you're going to do is you're going to jump rope for 1 minute. Okay. Now, if you don't have a jump rope, that's fine. We can substitute a jump rope for 1 minute of jumping jacks. So on our jumping jacks, we're completely closed, okay, to completely open. So we go back and forth for 1 minute consecutively with our jumping jacks. The second exercise we do right after that 1 minute of jump rope or jumping jacks is a 30 seconds worth of a shoulder press. So you're going to want to pre-plan and have some resistance ready. For a shoulder press, I would go ahead and pick something with a wider grip. So I would go all the way down to my bin here and have it ready. So as soon as I'm done with my jump ropes or jumping jacks, I would instantly pick up my bin here for my shoulder press. And I'm going to be doing shoulder press for 30 seconds in a row consecutively. Our third exercise for our superset cardio today is going to be 30 seconds of what's called a good morning. A good morning isn't necessarily a very high energy kind of exercise, but it is something that's going to get into our glutes and our lower back. And so it is a way to kind of catch our breath after all the jumping and all the pressing. So what we want to do is simply put our hands on our hips. Okay, we're going to have a slight bend of our knees, and we're simply going to come down to where our shoulders are even with our hips, and then we come back up to the top again. We want to be able to feel a stretch in our hamstrings, and then be able to come back up again, always staying solid in the core. So we're going to perform those 3 exercises. Okay, 1 minute of jumps, 30 seconds of shoulder press, 30 seconds of good mornings. Let's go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and do our superset cardio. Okay, now let's go ahead and cool down and work on our flexibility. Okay, so what we're going to end up doing is we're going to work on, again, it's going to be for time, so you're going to need your watch or cell phone close by. But we're going to do what's called a Spider-Man and reach. Okay, and so I'll demonstrate here. It's basically a lunge position. So if my right leg is forward, I have big enough space, so my right knee is basically right on top of my right toe. But all I'm going to simply do is I'm going to come down with my left elbow, I'm going to tap it, and then I'm going to reach up as high as I can with my right side. So right arm to right side, and I'm going to go as far back as I can. And I'm going to come back, I'm going to switch my legs, and now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. This is a very slow movement, but it is a continuous movement where our body is continuously moving and continuously stretching. So this is a little bit different as far as cool down and flexibility. We're not maintaining the same exact pose for a long period of time. It is a continuous movement here on our alternating Spider-Man and reach for 1 consecutive minute. After that, I do want you to rest just for 1 minute. Okay, just catch your breath before our last exercise for cool down and flexibility. And that's going to be an alternating Samson. An alternating Samson, very similar to the alternating Spider-Man and reach, in which one leg is ahead of the other, and the back leg has its knee on the ground. But instead of rotating at the hips horizontally and stretching up, now we're going to simply do it vertically. So we've done this before where both hands are basically together. You can lock your fingers if you want to. We're trying to go as far back as we can, as far up as we can, and now stretch our body vertically. So we're going to do that continuously for 1 minute. What I mean by that is we're going to go ahead and stretch as high as we can with both arms. Again, as far back as we can, and then we're going to go ahead and switch sides or switch legs, switch knees, and get comfortable again. And now we're going back again, both arms straight up as far back as you can. Okay, so that's our cool down and flexibility work for today. Again, we have 5 components of our workout. Make sure you again schedule time for your workout every day. Could be 7:15 in the morning, could be 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or it could vary based on your schedule. It's so important that we get 30 minutes of exercise in every day. And these workouts are designed to be indoors, and they're also designed to be under the restrictions that we're under. Okay, have a great day.